Alrighty, we're doing a beef brisket today and we're going to go completely uncrutched, so no Texas crutch, meaning I'm not going to wrap this thing. So let's just cut the fat off this thing. We want to leave about 1/4 inch of fat across this brisket. That way there's not too much of a fat cap on there, but that there's still enough fat to render down into the meat and allow this to be one tender brisket. So by the time we're done cutting here, this is going to be a good amount of fat on here. And we're going to get ready to rub this thing up in just a moment. So we're going to use Holy Cow Meat Church barbecue rub. It's like one of my favourite rubs for briskets. It's not a lot of ingredients, like salt, pepper, garlic, onion. Pretty basic. Some people can say it gets over salty. I find if you use the perfect amount, and once you learn what that perfect amount is, depending on the size of your protein, it's perfect. I like, Texas brisket, so salt and pepper with that little bit of extra flavour. So we're going to rub this thing up with a moderate amount. So we're going to apply it pretty liberally, just so you can see that there. And we're going to make sure we get all the sides as well. Once we pat dry all this in, we're going to make sure we get it under that cap as well. Just make sure we get it into the meat, not just over the top. We want to get it in all these little crevices as well. And once we've done the top, I won't bother filming that bit, but I'll turn it over and rub the bottom as well. And then I'll reapply over the top just to get any that fell off when I rotated the meat. So we'll pat this thing down. I'll do the other side and we'll get this thing on the pit and I'll give you guys an update shortly. About 5 hours in, and we are looking pretty good. Bark's starting to form. We're doing this really slow. We are not crutching at all. So I'm spraying every hour, every 40 minutes or so to keep this thing moist, because when you don't crutch and wrap it, you risk it drying out, which we do not want. What a wonderful day, people. Woo. Cheers. Looks like about maybe an hour or so ago, I'd say we've hit the store at about 150 degrees internal Fahrenheit. It got stuck and it's at 156 now, barely moving. I can see on the peaks on the graph in the meter app that it stood still for quite a while. So let it push through the store. We're still not going to wrap it. We've got all day here. It's only midday. We're going to let this thing go as long as it needs to. This is not so much about when are we going to eat. This is more a test run. Let's see how well we can get this brisket, how good we can get it, and we will let it go as long as it needs. It's definitely a barbecue kind of day. While we got the smoker on with the brisket ready for tonight, while the family are having their little pool party, they just want some good old Aussie snags and burgers on the gas barbecue. So got the smoker going for tonight, and we'll have these now. What a perfect day. Snags and burgers on, brisket cooking for tonight. It is a meaty kind of day. It's not an obsession, it's a hobby. Howdy. That heavy smoke. Right, 10.5 hours in. It's 4:30 p.m. and we are looking so good. Now, based on what the meter's telling us, we've got about 3.5 hours left. Now, I know that can change, but it seems pretty accurate given that we're at about 180 Fahrenheit now. We're through the stall and we're on the home stretch. wrap this thing up. It's done. We're gonna let it rest for, I'm gonna say an hour or so. Yeah, let's say an hour. Let's wrap this thing up real tightly. Let all the juices flow back into this meat. A lot of wind around here. We're gonna wrap it up as tight as I can. I've got about 3 or 4 layers of foil here. To get this thing wrapped tight enough, it will retain all the heat. It will even go up a bit in temperature over the next 40 minutes to an hour, and all that juice is going to flow back in, ready for when you slice it. You do not skip this step. The resting step, if you skip this or mess this up, you've ruined your entire cook. We'll come back in now and check this thing. Ready to go. Alright, we are ready to wrap this thing, cut this thing. So there we go. What do you think? There's the end result. Guys, give it a try. I hope you like this video. That's our end result. It was bloody beautiful for a non-wrapped brisket. Thanks guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers till next time.